welcome. I am Pastor Kristen Foster. I chair the planning team for the EcoFaith Summit, and I'm standing up today to thank you for being here and for what it means for you to be here and what is the voice in your heart that is bringing you here. There are 250 people here. They're not all in the sanctuary right now, in person, and over 100 online, live streaming. Welcome. We want to thank our 3 presenting synods and invite those that represent them, the bishops and the synod staff here today. Please stand and turn around so people can thank you for your role as a presenting synods. The Northeastern Minnesota Synod, the Northwest Synod of Wisconsin, and the St. Paul Area Synod, and the 5 other partnering synods today, and the 3 colleges and the 7 camps, and the 3 seminaries that are helping us, and the environmental organizations and the networking organizations, 35 partners in all that are here making this possible.
The midwives, unlike Pharaoh, are given names, Shiphrah and Puah. To be given a name is to be given an identity, a family. Naming is an act of birthing. Shiphrah and Puah are people with their own stories and relationships. But think of your own birthing and naming stories and how they formed you into who you are. Midwives to the Hebrews, which is why Pharaoh naturally thinks they'll be his obedient subjects. Pharaoh's order is unbelievably cruel. If it's a boy, kill him. His order is also unbelievably blind. If it's a girl, she shall live. Pharaoh apparently doesn't understand the power of seemingly powerless women. They may be his subjects, but they are not subject to him. They instead swear allegiance to God. So many questions lie before us. How can we be like Shiphrah and Puah, especially when the endangered child is all of creation? How can we, like Shiphrah and Puah, stand defiant against evil tyranny? How can we be assured that through such defiance, we become midwives of life and hope?
How do we birth that moral, spiritual power? Let us begin, and that moral, spiritual power and hope. So let us begin with what hope is not. One false version of hope is optimism. Optimism says something like, come on, things will turn out okay if we just hang in there. The science and its awful assessments just can't be right. And if it is, technology will find solutions. Besides, my family and I are relatively safe. Well, yes, things may turn out okay for me, at least in the next few years. I will not go hungry due to drought-induced food shortage. I will not be without water because a mining company has toxified my water supply. If the forest fires burn my house, I have a car with which to flee. I have some savings to rebuild my house. But that hope is not godly, given that countless neighbors will find food, water, homes, and lives destroyed. They are already millions. Another false hope that I have heard says, the world is in God's hands, and God will handle this mess, so we can just go on living life as best we can. There's a variant of this. It is all part of God's plan. Have y'all heard those? Well, bad things, my friends, are not God's plan. And the biblical witness is that God works through human hands, rather than giving us a free pass to sit and watch God correct the wrongs of the world. So can faith offer real hope? Real hope kicks in after the grounds for practical hope are gone. So as I see it now, there are 2 steps which are vitally important for birthing hope and moral spiritual power. One step is truth-telling. Truth-telling about what gets in our way of embodying our call to justice-seeking love. For me, it helps to see those seductive lures that would get in my way as voices whispering within me. One says, I cannot really make a difference. There is nothing I can really do. Another says, it's not as bad as we think it is. That is the voice of privilege, speaking in a world, a dream world, in which the horrors are not going on because I don't experience them directly. It's the voice of denial. A third voice comes in when I do face the magnitude of the dangers. When my denial is overcome, then I feel this foreboding sense of doom or powerlessness or too lateness. It whispers. The powers that be are too big for ordinary people to overcome or transform. We are doomed. So I invite you, in the days and months to come, to be alert to what might lure you, the voices in you that might lure you away from your path, away from your blessed calling to heed God's ways of justice-seeking, earth-relishing love. Listen for those voices and defy them.
As Dr. Cynthia said, we are living in a really pivotal moment in history, and that's not a cliche, right? I say this for myself from the bones of my people, from the songs that just rise in our blood to the stories that are just carried through generations, right? From the lands, I think that have held both our ceremonies and our suffering. There is something sacred about being alive right now.
Growing in faith, spreading God's love, and gathering in community. Today, together, we are living out this mission, and we are gathered in community from near and far, here in person and online. We seek to join the midwives Shiphrah and Puah of our biblical story in spreading God's love beyond our limited understanding of communities to all creatures and to all of creation. And we are praying. We are praying to grow in our courage and our capacity to live out our faith as creatively and as powerfully as God's midwives did, saving life over against Pharaoh's calls for death. May it be so.